When I was a teenager, computers were the size of a car and far more expensive. I had to sneak into computer labs at a nearby college to get just a little bit of computer time. Now the idea of computer time being incredibly scarce doesn't even make sense. In the 1970s, it was considered wild when we talked about the idea of everybody having a computer. We said a computer on every desktop. And now we can almost take for granted that there's a computer in almost every pocket. And so this pace of innovation is accelerating. The same is true of our understanding of polio. It was first recognized 4,000 years ago, but it was only 200 years ago when we figured out that it was contagious. 100 years ago, we learned it was caused by a virus. And 50 years ago, we developed the first vaccine to prevent it. 25 years ago, we resolved to eradicate it. I asked the Science Museum if I could borrow this machine to show you an example of what polio-related innovation looks like. This is a Smith-Clark Junior Cabinet Respirator, better known as an arm lung. This version was developed by the British engineer George Thomas Smith-Clark in 1956. In addition to paralyzing arms and legs, the poliovirus can affect the nerves that let you control the muscles that inflate your lungs. In these cases, patients are unable to breathe on their own. Behind me, you can see a photo of what it looked like when an arm lung was used to help children breathe. They were sealed inside it. Well, for centuries, artificial respiration was something that medicine sought. Drowning and gas inhalation were common causes of death in the 19th century, and nothing could be done to revive people who stopped breathing. One early device that seemed to work required a person operating it to blow into a tube 30 times a minute, or 43,000 times a day. To test the first arm lung, researchers injected a cat with the South American arrow poison curare until it stopped breathing, and then they put it into their prototype. The machine breathed for the cat, technically, with the air going in and out of the machine, inflating the cat's lungs. When the poison wore off, the cat survived, and the inventors raced each other to make improvements to this arm lung concept. Now, children who had inability to breathe polio, many of them recover, but they remember vividly their time in the arm lung with horror. Pondering possible death, their parents could only see them in a mirror touched above their immobilized heads. But this did save thousands of lives, and it fulfilled the aspirations of the medical community. But now, this contraption, filled with Sabin oral vaccine, has saved millions of lives. And it's the reason the arm lung is now in a museum. This is innovation. When a solution is so powerful that it changes the way we think about a problem, not how can paralyzed lungs inflate, but how can we keep them from being paralyzed in the first place? Innovation is helping us overcome the obstacles that still stand in the way of eradication.